taking care of business. Taking care of business. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the Mets win 2-1 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Before we get into the recap and everything, please be sure to leave a like here if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Mets fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. It all comes down to this now. I'm getting goosebumps even just thinking about it. It all comes down to what we thought now. The Mets did their job and did a very good job, that is, of taking the series here against the Philadelphia Phillies. And now they go into the series that we all thought would be the deciding factor, and that is against the Atlanta Braves. They now have a 2-game lead still, so they're going in there with better than I thought, because when I saw the pitching matchup tonight, I'll be honest, I did not think that they were going to win the series, and I was like, one game isn't terrible, but you really want to be up 2. They're going to go into this up 2, and it all comes down to this, and this is the opportunity to slay the demon. This is the opportunity to go down into Atlanta, and I want more than just beating them. I want them to kick the ever-living shit out of the Braves in Atlanta. Will it be that way? Probably not. It's probably going to be closer games because, 1, it's the Mets, of course. 2, the Braves are still, of course, the Braves. But I want that to happen. You're in a spot now where you win the series. It is very similar, and it scares me that it's similar to 2022, where they just had to win one game in Atlanta to own the tiebreaker, and they couldn't do it. Now they're in an opportunity. You win the series, you're basically in the postseason at that point, because barring the Mets then at that point losing out and then the Braves winning out, I think that's the only scenario, because the Mets would own the tiebreaker at that point. And yeah, I think that would be the only outcome that could really happen for that scenario. So win a series and you're basically in. What it comes down to, it is what it comes down to. And we talked about it for months, and it is finally here. But the Mets did play a game tonight, and my God, was that crowd bonkers. Like, does any crowd deserve October ball more than the one that was at Citi Field tonight? And including myself, who will be there if they're freaking back here for the division series, because at this point, the top wildcard spot is definitely a pipe dream. That would require the Mets winning out, basically at this point, the Padres losing out, which will not happen. So, and by the way, the Diamondbacks lost, so the Mets now are in the second wildcard spot to where they would play the Padres in the hypothetical scenario that the standings remain the same by the end of the season. So there's that as a little bit of an added bonus, if you will, if you want to call it a bonus, because again, it really doesn't matter. All it comes down to is this series in Atlanta, which for Diamondback fans are rooting for the Mets in this series, because get the Braves out of the picture at this point. But yeah, the Mets did an unbelievable job here in this series to just take care of what they needed to do. Didn't let the Phillies clinch the division, by the way, so technically it's up for grabs, but it's not going to happen. If the Mets just won those 2 games in Philly that were so in reach, we'd be able to have that conversation, but it is what it is. Regardless, just get in. Just get in, and it comes down to this. And again, the Mets took 2 out of 3 here now, or 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4 against the Phillies here, even better. And I always said going into the series, that's what I wanted, because I want them to send a message to the league that we're not fucking around. The ultimate we're not fucking around would be, just piss whipping the Atlanta Braves. But again, let's talk about this game, because that's where we have to start. Top of the first inning, Schwarber strikes out, Turner with a single, a wild pitch by McGill, Harper strikes out, Bohm with a single to make it 1-0. Castellanos then got a single, Stott walked, and it felt like it was going to be one of those nights where, yeah, it's going to be a 1-game lead going into Atlanta. But then Real Muto gets out. We get to the bottom of the first, Iglesias with a leadoff single, and then the rest of the order goes down. Top of the second inning, 1-2-3 inning for Tyler McGill, a nice little rebound. Bottom of the second, after back-to-back outs, Mark Vientos with a double, and then Tyrone Taylor with a single. Please keep playing Tyrone Taylor, and he ties the game up at 1. Acuna then with a single. Iglesias unfortunately strikes out. What could have been a huge rally there to end the inning. Top of the 3rd inning, Turner flies out. Harper and Bohm both strike out. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, where it was a 1-2-3 inning as well for Zach Wheeler. Top of the 4th, Castellanos with a single. Stott strikes out. Then another wild pitch. Real Muto grounds out. Marsh walks. Rojas grounds out. And you got the vibe there, and rightfully so, because it ended up coming to fruition that was going to be it for Tyler McGill. You got him through the lineup twice. At that point, just take him out. I was very shocked with who came into the game, which we'll get to after the Mets went down in order. They bring in Phil Maton, and I was shocked to see him in the 5th, but I'm also like, this makes sense because put him in against the best part of the lineup. How many times have I sat here and complained and yapped, whined, cried, whatever you want to say? How many times have I screamed into this microphone that I want to see Mendoza use his better relievers against the better parts of the lineup? He did it here. He did it here, and it worked. Maton gives you a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, where Tyrone Taylor gets a single. Acuna hits into a force out. Iglesias then strikes out, and then as they strike him out, throw him out, double play there to end the inning. 6th inning, Maton again, 1-2-3 inning. Even better. You got 2 innings out of Maton. Good stuff, especially considering you have the off day tomorrow. Maximize your bullpen. Bottom of the 6th inning, Brandon Nimmo. Yet again, this is what we've been waiting for from Brandon Nimmo for months now, because he was on fire in the first half. We know he cooled off to pretty much unplayable numbers. He tanks one to right to make it a 2-1 game. And all of a sudden, that place was bonkers when that ball left. That place was nuts. The goosebumps, man, the goosebumps. The rest of the order goes down, but you could feel good. Jose Budo then comes in the 7th inning. Nice to know that he's still alive, because I was questioning, honestly, what is going on with Jose Budo. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but I was curious if he was like actually banged up or something, because we've not seen Jose Budo in forever. And I think it's good that they got him the rest they did, because he looked fresher than he's ever looked within from these past few outings, I should say. And he gets a 1-2-3 inning, gets a pair of strikeouts too, which was really nice to see. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, where Alvarez walks, Vientos strikes out, an ugly strikeout. Tyrone Taylor lines out, Acuna grounds out. We go to the 8th inning, where Edwin Diaz comes in. He strikes out Schwarber looking, sit your ass down. Trey Turner gets a single, steals a bag. Harper, sit your ass down. Turner then steals 3rd. Bohm then hits into a ground out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, where Iglesias gets a single. And I got the vibe that maybe they were going to tack on some insurance runs. And unfortunately, the rest of the order goes down. JD Martinez came in the pitch hit for Winker. And I tweeted this out, and I knew that it was unrealistic to really want this and envision it happening. Or not envision it, because I had the vision of it. But I knew it was unrealistic for it to happen. But could you just imagine if Francisco Lindor stepped out of that dugout to pitch hit for Jesse Winker there? The place would have went insane. Place would have went nuts. Didn't happen, but it would have been unbelievable. But we fast forward to the 9th, where all of us asked the question, who the hell is going to pitch the 9th? Because I loved Diaz coming into the 8th to face the better part of the order. Like I said, I've been wanting that for a while. His pitch count was low, but I was like, who's going to come in for the 9th? I figured, okay, give Diaz Nick Castellanos, and then bring in Danny Young. And I know he's been struggling, I know, but bring in Danny Young to get Stott. You could walk Real Muto and then have him pitch to March, or force the Phillies' hand to bring in a pinch hitter for March. But maybe they didn't want to do that because Danny Young has been struggling. They stuck with Diaz. He gets the first out. Then he walks Stott, and Stott steals a bag. At that point, I'm like, they should have just gave him one batter. Then he strikes out Real Muto, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. Let him finish this. Then a 4-pitch walk to March. And then Mendoza comes out. And I think he had an honest conversation like, yo, do you think you got this? And Diaz looked him in the eyes and said, I don't know exactly what he said, but I'm just envisioning I was in the huddle there. And he's just like, I got this for you. And he strikes out Cody Clemens and hangs his nutsack and fires myself at home and everybody at Citi Field up, and the Mets leave this one with a victory. Unbelievable. The vibes in that stadium, you could just feel it from the couch. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But I'm just so happy with the way the pitching did in a game that Zach Wheeler just dominated in. Like, quite frankly, he dominated in, and the Mets end up getting the job done because the pitching was so good. Tyler McGill, he only gave 4 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run, 2 walks. The problem really is that he was getting high in the pitch count, and he was really he was allowing a bit of contact at times too, which was a concern. But honestly, he gave you what you needed. He gave you what you needed, because in my mind, I was like, get 4 or 5 from Tyler McGill and you're fine. And they got exactly that from him. Now, we don't have to talk about McGill the rest of the season. Maybe he makes a start at the end if the Mets hopefully get the job done and clinch. So then, you know, it doesn't matter who pitches towards the end of that Milwaukee series. But Tyler McGill, thank you for your service. You did your job. Now he could go to the bullpen, or again, maybe get one more start if the Mets have a spot already locked up, which let's hope to God that's the case by the time it gets to his turn in the rotation again. Bill Maton, thank you. 2 innings. Thank you. Jose Budo, unbelievable. And then Edwin Diaz battled a bit, struggled a bit, but got the job done. And then the offense today really labored at times, but you got the timely hits. You did. Iglesias continues to thrive, continuing his streak. Nimmo, he backed up when he was talking to the crowd and said, show up because we're going to show up. He backed that up so well. And I'm very happy with the way Nimmo played this entire homestand. Tyrone Taylor continues to thrive. Acuna got a hit in this one. Vientos got a hit. He's still struggling a bit, but you got very quality offense when you needed it. And by the way, in the 9th inning, I would be remiss if I forgot to mention that when Marsh was going to, or I'm forgetting here. No, sorry. It was when Real Muto struck out and then Stott stole third. That ball, I thought that went in the outfield, and my heart sunk to the floor thinking about that being the tying run. I would have collapsed on the spot. I would have cried on the spot. I'm not even, I'm half exaggerating on that one, but regardless, yeah, this is, with the way that building was today, man, I need October ball. I just need October ball in that building. It sucks that the Marlins couldn't get the job done, because if they went to that Atlanta series 3 up, I'd be feeling so freaking good about this. But right now, I feel worried. Although even then, you can't feel that cocky going in 3 up, because at the same time, you get swept and all of a sudden it really doesn't matter. But this is the hand they're dealt. This is what it is. And the Mets have their job to do. They have to do their part, and it's up to them. And if they don't do it, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Just that simple. And if you do it, then welcome to October. We have to wait, though, until Tuesday for this, which I hate that we have to wait till Tuesday. But I also do like, because the team could use the day off. But as a fan, I hate having to wait this extra day, because I'm itching for the series. And I am going to be... I'm going to be glued to that freaking TV every single pitch of this series. But Severino gets the ball in game 1. I'm not sure who gets it the rest of the series. I think they're going to go with, they might go with Peterson in one of them, and then they might go with Quintana. I'm not sure yet, but we'll discuss that when we get there, of course. Because we just don't know yet. We don't. And it's funny looking at the lineup, because that was a makeup game. And you see Brett Beatty hitting 5th in the lineup there, which is just completely hilarious. And DJ Stewart's in the lineup. Oh, gosh. But, yeah, we'll see how this ends up going. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.